Have you ever found yourself wide awake at 3:14 a.m., staring into the abyss of your ceiling, wondering why your body's staging a midnight rebellion? If you're an older woman, this isn't just some cruel cosmic prank. It's your mind, your body, maybe even your soul trying to whisper something urgent. Maybe it's a health nudge, an emotional SOS, or a glimpse into a future you're meant to shape. Whatever it is, those witching hours between 3:00 a.m. and 5:00 a.m. don't have to be a torment. I'm about to share 6 powerful things you must do when this happens to transform those restless nights into a quiet superpower. Moments of peace, insight, and renewal. Stick around until the end, because number 6, it's the game changer most people overlook, and it might just rewrite how you see those sleepless hours forever. Before we dive in, if you find this helpful, I'd love it if you'd hit that like button. It helps me keep sharing these golden nuggets for women like us. Not subscribed yet? Hit that button and ring the bell so you never miss a video. And here's a little deal. If you love this, drop number 1 in the comments. If it's not your cup of tea, leave a number 0. I'm all ears to make it better for you. Ready? Let's turn those pre-dawn wake-ups into something extraordinary. Picture this, your eyes flutter open and the clock glares 3:22 a.m. in that eerie green glow. Your first instinct? Panic. If I fall asleep now, I'll get 4 hours. No, 3. Oh no, 2. Your brain's off to the races, heart thumping like it's auditioning for a drum solo. You've been here before, haven't you? That spiral where you wrestle sleep like it's a slippery eel. The harder you grip, the faster it slithers away. Sound familiar? You're not alone. Waking up between 3:00 and 5:00 a.m. is practically a rite of passage for many of us as we age. Hormones shift, stress lingers, life gets louder. But here's the twist. Fighting it is like trying to herd squirrels on a sugar high. It's a losing game. So why does this happen? Science says your sleep cycles lighten as you age. Those deep, dreamy hours get stingier, and your body's internal clock, that circadian rhythm, starts playing by its own rules. Add a dash of menopause or a sprinkle of late-night worries, and boom, you're awake when the world's asleep. But instead of cursing the darkness, let's flip the script. Stop lying there, but be like a defeated warrior. Sit up gently, no need to leap out of bed like a caffeinated gymnast. This tiny shift tells your brain, hey, I'm not wallowing here, I'm in charge. Now take a deep breath. In through your nose for 4 counts, hold it like you're savoring a secret, then out through your mouth for 6. Do it 3 times. Feel that? Your shoulders drop, your chest unclenches. It's your nervous system hitting the brakes on cortisol, that sneaky stress hormone that loves to crash your sleep party. This isn't woo-woo nonsense. It's biology at work, coaxing your parasympathetic system, the rest and digest crew, back into the driver's seat. Here's where I'll let you in on a little story. A few years back, I'd wake up at 3:00 a.m. like clockwork, fretting over a presentation I had to give. One night, I stopped fighting it. I sat up, breathed, and instead of stewing, I grabbed a pen and sketched out my opening line. By morning, I had half the talk written, and it was the best I'd ever done. Those quiet hours? They're not your enemy unless you make them one. So next time, don't battle the wake up. Welcome it. It might just hand you a gift you didn't expect. It's 3:47 a.m., and your mouth feels like a desert after a sandstorm. Your legs twitch like they're plotting an escape, and your skin's clammy despite the cool room. Ever been there? Here's a suspect you might not have clocked: dehydration. Your body's been chugging along all night, losing water through every breath, every beat of sweat you didn't notice. By 3:00 a.m., it's waving a tiny flag. Help me out here. But before you stumble to the sink and chug like a marathon runner, let's get smart about it. Hydrating at this hour isn't just about water, it's about intention. First, skip the ice-cold gulp. I get it, it's tempting when you're groggy and warm, but it's like splashing a sleepy puppy with a hose. Your system jolts awake when you want it to wind down. Instead, keep a glass of room temperature water by your bed. Better yet, make it a ritual. I started adding a pinch of Himalayan salt, barely a whisper, not a salty soup, and a squeeze of lemon. Why? Your body's lost electrolytes, sodium, potassium, magnesium, those unsung heroes keeping your muscles calm and your brain steady. That faint headache or wired but tired buzz, it's them checking out. A sip of this gentle mix feels like a hug to your insides, settling you without overloading your bladder for a 4:30 a.m. bathroom sprint. Let me tell you about my friend Linda. She's 62, a retired nurse, and swore she'd never sleep past 4 a.m. again. One night I convinced her to try this. Warm water, a hint of salt, a splash of lemon. She texted me the next day. I fell back asleep in 20 minutes. What sorcery is this? No sorcery, just science. Dehydration messes with your sleep cycle. Your heart pumps harder, your temperature wobbles, and your muscles get cranky. A mindful sip can flip that switch. So next time you wake up parched, don't just drink. Hydrate like it's a sacred pause. Your body will thank you with a softer slide back to sleep. You wake at 4:05 a.m. and it's not just the usual fog. There's a tightness in your chest, a restless hum you can't pin down. Maybe your mind's replaying that sharp word you had with your daughter yesterday, or it's drifting to a friend you haven't called in months. Ever felt that? Here's a thought. Those pre-dawn hours might be your emotions knocking. In traditional Chinese medicine, 3AM to 5AM is the lungs' time. And lungs aren't just for breathing. They're tied to grief, sadness, letting go. Modern science might not map it that way, but it agrees. Stress and buried feelings love to surface when the world's quiet. Don't just lie there letting it fester. Sit up, prop a pillow, and ask yourself, what's weighing on me? No need for a therapy session. Just let the first thoughts spill out. Grab a notebook. Yes, keep one handy, and scribble 3 things. Could be, I'm worried about the bills, I miss mom, or why am I even awake? It's not about fixing it, it's about unloading it. Then breathe, 4 counts in, 6 counts out, and with each exhale, whisper, I let this go for now. It's like setting a heavy bag down after a long walk. You're not erasing it, you're giving it a rest. I'll share something personal. Last year, I kept waking up at 3:30 a.m., a knot in my stomach. One night I wrote, I'm scared I'm not enough for my grandkids. It hit me. I'd been carrying that silently for weeks, letting it out, breathing it away. I slept like a baby after. Studies back this up. Journaling cuts anxiety by offloading mental clutter, and slow breathing dials down cortisol. So when your heart's whispering at 4 a.m., listen. It's not a curse. It's a chance to lighten your load. It's 4:19 a.m., and you're twisted in the sheets like a sailor's knot, neck stiff as a board, legs twitching like they're plotting a jailbreak. Mind looping on, why can't I just sleep? The harder you try to lie still, the more your body rebels, doesn't it? You flip from side to side, pillows tumbling, blankets a tangled mess, each restless minute stretching into an eternity. Sound like a scene you've lived through? Here's the trap. Staying glued to that mattress when you're wired is like damming a river mid-flow. It builds pressure, not peace. After 15 minutes of tossing, your body's practically waving a white flag, begging for a reset. Not a midnight jog or a yoga class, just a gentle nudge, a soft ripple to shake off the stiffness and ease you back to calm. Let's walk through this together, because moving like water beats rigid stubbornness every time. First, ditch the idea that you've got to stay flat and frozen, willing sleep to pounce. It's a losing battle, like trying to hold sand in a clenched fist. Instead, sit up slowly, no drama needed. Prop yourself against the headboard or swing your legs over the edge if that feels right. Your call. Start with your neck, because chances are It's locked up tighter than a rusty hinge after hours of awkward pillow wrestling. Drop your chin to your chest, then roll it gently to the right, ear drifting towards your shoulder like a leaf floating downstream. Breathe into it, slow and deep, then roll to the left. Do this 3 times and feel that knot start to unravel, your shoulders sigh, the tension melting like ice in the sun. Next, tackle those shoulders. They're probably hunched up near your ears, clutching stress like a miser with gold. Lift them high as if you're reaching for the ceiling, then let them drop with a soft exhale. Imagine shedding a heavy coat after a long day. Repeat this 4 times, sinking each lift with a deep breath in, each drop with a longer breath out. You might hear a little creak or pop. Don't panic, it's just your body saying thanks. My Aunt Clara, 68, swore she'd never sleep past 4 a.m. again until I showed her this over coffee last summer. I'm no gymnast, she chuckled, but that night she tried it, neck rolls, shoulder shrugs. Next morning she called, slept till 6 a.m. What's your secret? No secret, just a gentle reset. Now let's get the blood flowing. Scoot to the bed's edge and try a lazy forward fold. Hinge at your hips, hands sliding towards your knees or the floor, and hang there like a willow bending in the breeze. No need to force it. This isn't a fitness test. It's a stretchy sigh for your spine, waking up circulation that's gone sluggish after hours lying still. Take a deep breath, 4 counts in through your nose, 6 out through your mouth, and feel your ribs expand, your lower back soften. Last week I woke at 3:50 a.m., legs restless, back cranky. I did this, and it was like my body exhaled a grudge I didn't know it held. 10 minutes later, I was drifting again. Finally shake out the jitters, lift one leg at a time, give it a light wiggle, like you're flicking water off after wading in a stream. 10 seconds per leg, letting the twitchiness fizz out. Silly? Sure. But it works. Restless legs are sleep's sworn enemy, and this tricks them into settling. If your hands or feet are cold, another sleep thief, rub them briskly like you're warming them by a fire. Science says warm extremities speed sleep onset. Your core cools as your hands and feet cozy up, signaling your brain it's safe to drift. So next time you're tangled at 4 a.m., don't fight the current. Move like water. It's a quiet reset that flows you back to rest. It's 3:58 a.m. and your brain's decided it's hosting a midnight circus. Thoughts tumbling like acrobats, ricocheting from, did I lock the back door? Why did I wear that hideous sweater to Janet's wedding in '92? Every time you try to shush them, they just cartwheel louder, don't they? Forcing your mind to settle is like begging a thunderstorm to pipe down. Good luck with that. You're wide awake, trapped in a mental merry-go-round, and sleep feels like a train you missed by a mile. Sound familiar? We've all starred in this late-night fiasco, but here's a lifeline. Instead of wrestling your brain into submission, feed it something gentle to nibble on. Not a screen, not a scroll, but a soft distraction that lulls it back to peace. Let's unpack this, because the right move at 4 a.m. can turn that circus into a lullaby. First, a warning. Don't reach for your phone. I know it's tempting. Those glowing notifications promising a quick fix, a funny cat video, a peek at tomorrow's weather. But it's a trap. That blue light? It's like a shot of espresso to your brain, spiking cortisol, the stress hormone that's already gate-crashing your night. And TikTok? 1 minute you're watching a dance trend, the next you're 40 videos deep into top 10 ways to organize your sock drawer, wondering how it's suddenly 5 a.m. Been there? Yeah, me too. So let's sidestep that digital quicksand and try something softer, something that coaxes your mind off its hamster wheel without winding it up tighter. My favorite trick? Pink noise. You've probably heard of white noise, that staticky buzz like a radio stuck between stations. Pink noise is its calmer, cooler cousin. Think rain tapping on your window pane, a soft whoosh of wind through pine trees, or waves kissing the shore on a lazy afternoon. It's not harsh or jarring, it's a soothing blanket of sound, gentler on the ears because it dials down the high pitches. Why does it work? Science says it syncs with your brainwaves, nudging them toward the slow, dreamy rhythms of deep sleep. A 2017 study from Northwestern University found pink noise doesn't just help you doze off, it sharpens your memory the next day. Keep a little speaker by your bed or download a track. Set it low, just a murmur, and let that rain fall. I swear it's like someone's turned down the volume on my overactive head. Not into noise? Try a monotone audiobook. Emphasis on monotone. This isn't the time for gripping mysteries or fantasy epics with dragons roaring in Dolby Surround. Pick something dull but pleasant. A history of 18th century lace making, a guide to growing moss, a lecture on sedimentary rocks. I once nodded off to a guy droning about pottery in the 1700s, out cold in 15 minutes, and I don't even like clay. The trick? A steady, low-energy voice that's just engaging enough to derail your worry train, but boring enough to let your brain drift. Cue it up on a device with a sleep timer. Volume barely there, no cliffhangers to jolt you awake. My friend Paul, 67, laughed when I suggested this. "I'll be up counting sheep," he said. 2 nights later, he called. "Some guy reading about Victorian gardens knocked me out." Who knew? Or if gadgets are not handy, use your imagination. Picture a calm scene. Nothing wild, just a quiet lake at dusk, water lapping the dock, crickets humming in the reeds. Last week, I woke at 4:10 a.m., mind buzzing about a deadline. I closed my eyes, imagined my childhood creek, mud squishing between my toes, fireflies blinking, and before I knew it, I was dreaming again. It's not magic. It's your mind latching onto a gentler rhythm. My sister-in-law, Rita, 64, tried this after months of restless nights. "I pictured my old porch swing," she said. "Felt like I was rocking myself to sleep." She's been out like a light ever since. Why does this matter? Your brain's a pattern junkie. It loves repetition, hates chaos. When it's racing, it's stuck in overdrive. A soft sound or story shifts the gear to neutral, then reverse, easing you back to rest. So next time your thoughts start breakdancing at 4 a.m., skip the doom scroll. Feed them pink noise, a dull narrator, a peaceful scene. It's like a warm milk for your mind, simple, gentle, and oh so effective. Here it is, the one most people miss, the hidden gem that could rewrite how you see those restless pre-dawn hours. It's 4:02 a.m., and the world's so still you can almost hear the stars breathing. Your house is a silent cocoon. No clatter of dishes, no hum of traffic, just you and the soft shadows dancing across your walls. Most of us dread these moments, don't we? We lie there cursing the clock, pleading with sleep to swoop in and rescue us. But what if I told you those 3 to 5 a.m. wake-ups aren't a glitch in the system? What if they're a gift, a secret power waiting for you to claim? Stick with me, because this isn't just about surviving those hours. It's about thriving in them, turning the quiet into a canvas for your mind, your heart, maybe even your soul. Let's start with a little history lesson, because some of the brightest minds ever didn't just tolerate these early wake-ups. They leaned into them like old friends. Take Leonardo da Vinci, genius painter, inventor, dreamer. He didn't slog through 8-hour sleep marathons. Instead, he mastered the art of polyphasic sleep, napping in short bursts around the clock, claiming it unlocked his wildest ideas. Picture him in his candlelit workshop, scribbling sketches of flying machines while the world snored. Or Nikola Tesla, the electric wizard who reportedly ran on 2 hours of sleep a night. He'd sit in the hush of dawn, dreaming up currents that would light the world. These weren't men battling insomnia. They were mining the stillness for brilliance, turning those odd hours into a forge for their greatness. Now, I'm not saying you need to invent the next Mona Lisa or a light bulb by breakfast, but what if you borrowed a page from their playbook? What if you stopped seeing 4 a.m. as a thief and started treating it as an ally? Here's how to start. Keep a notebook and pen on your nightstand. Nothing fancy, just something to catch the whispers of your half-awake mind. When your eyes pop open and the clock's glowing that unforgiving 3:57. Don't groan. Sit up a little, let your shoulders settle, and ask yourself, what's swirling in here? Maybe it's a worry you've been dodging all day, those bills piling up like uninvited guests. Maybe it's a memory that slipped through the cracks, a summer afternoon with your grandmother, her hands kneading dough while the radio hummed. Or maybe it's a spark, an idea for a quilt pattern, a letter you've meant to write, a dream you tucked away years ago. Jot it down, messy and raw. Don't judge it, just let it spill. Last month I woke at 3:40 a.m., a knot of nostalgia in my chest. I grabbed my pen and wrote a poem about my childhood dog, Rusty, his floppy ears, the way he'd chase fireflies like they were stars he could catch. By the time the sun peeked through my blinds, I felt lighter than I had in weeks, like I'd unearthed a piece of myself I didn't know was missing. But it's not just about writing. It's about claiming the quiet in whatever way speaks to you. Step outside for a minute if you can. Barefoot on the porch, the air cool against your skin, the world so hushed you can hear the rustle of leaves or the distant chirp of a cricket winding down its shift. 5 minutes of that stillness can feel like a reset button for your whole day. My cousin Marie, 65, stumbled into this after her divorce left her sleepless and lost. She'd wake at 4 o'clock a.m., heart heavy, mind racing with, what now? One night she slipped outside, sat on her deck with a mug of tea, and just listened. The wind, the quiet, her own breathing. It's my time now, she told me later, her voice steady for the first time in months. She's calmer these days, sharper too, and she swears those pre-dawn moments stitched her back together when everything else unraveled. Science backs her up. Studies show silence boosts creativity, cuts stress, even rewires your brain to handle chaos better. Those quiet hours, they're like a spa for your soul, if you let them be. Let me tell you another story about my old neighbor, Mrs. Patel, who's 72 and sharper than a tack. She'd wake up at 3:30 a.m. every night, a habit from years of caring for her kids, then her grandkids. Most folks would grumble, but not her. She'd sit by her window with a cup of warm milk, watching the moon, letting her mind wander. One morning, she showed me a stack of drawings, delicate sketches of birds she'd seen in her yard, each one a little masterpiece born in those silent hours. I didn't know I could still do this, she said, her eyes twinkling. It's like the night gave me back my hands. She didn't fight the wake-up. She claimed it, and it handed her a piece of herself she'd forgotten. Now, maybe drawing's not your thing, and that's okay. The point isn't the what, it's the why. Those hours between 3 o'clock and 5 a.m. have a strange, almost magical pull. Ever heard of the witching hour or the hour of the wolf? Folklore paints it as a time when the veil thins, when spirits whisper and truths surface. I'm not saying ghosts are knocking, but there's something to that hush. Your mind's in a liminal space, half dreaming, half awake, unguarded. It's a gold mine if you're brave enough to dig. Maybe you hum a tune you haven't thought of in decades, letting it drift like smoke through your memory. Maybe you plan your garden, picturing roses climbing a trellis in the spring. Or maybe you just sit, letting the quiet wash over you like a tide smoothing jagged stones. No pressure, no rush, just you and the stillness. Partners in a dance no one else can hear. Here's a practical twist. Set a tiny intention when you wake. Whisper to yourself, this is my moment. What will I do with it? It could be as small as listing 3 things you're grateful for. Your cozy bed, the smell of coffee waiting downstairs, the way your cat curls up by your feet, or as big as sketching a dream you've shelved, traveling to Italy, starting that memoir, learning to bake bread like your mom did. I tried this last week, waking at 4:15 a.m. with a restless buzz. Instead of stewing, I thought, what's one thing I want? I scribbled, a day by the sea. By morning, I'd booked a weekend trip, something I'd put off for years. That quiet hour didn't just calm me, it moved me forward. And if you're still skeptical, think about this. Your body's been waking you for a reason. Maybe it's not just hormones or a creaky bladder. Maybe it's your spirit saying, hey, we've got unfinished business. My friend Joan, 60, found this out the hard way. She'd wake at 3:00 a.m., night after night, stewing over a falling out with her sister. One dawn, she stepped onto her balcony, breathed the crisp air, and decided to write a letter. Not to send, just to release. I forgave her in that quiet, she told me, tears in her eyes, and I slept through the next night for the first time in months. The stillness didn't solve her problem. It gave her the space to solve herself. So next time 4:00 a.m. rolls around and your eyes flicker open, don't dread it. Claim it. Keep that notebook close. Step into the hush. Set a tiny spark of intention. Those hours aren't here to haunt you. They're here to hold you if you let them. They're your secret power, a slice of time no one else can touch, waiting to surprise you with what you find. Maybe it's a poem, a plan, a piece you didn't know you needed. Whatever it is, it's yours. Born in the quiet, yours to keep. Well, there you have it. 6 powerful ways to turn those haunting 3:00 to 5:00 a.m. wake-ups into something more than a stumble in the dark. Stop fighting the restlessness and greet it like a wise old friend. Hydrate with intention, letting each sip soothe your parched soul. Listen to your heart when it whispers in the shadows. It's braver than you think. Move gently, letting your body flow like a river finding its way. Feed your mind a soft distraction, not the buzzing chaos of a screen. And claim the quiet. Those hushed hours are your secret power, waiting to unfold treasures you didn't know you held. These aren't just tricks to survive the night. They're lessons from the dark. Invitations to see yourself anew when the world's asleep and the clock's the only sound. So tell me, what's one thing you'll carry from this into your next midnight moment? Maybe it's that warm water with a twist of lemon, a quiet stretch to untangle your spine, or a notebook to catch the whispers of your half-dreaming mind. Drop it in the comments below. I'd love to hear how it lands for you, how it shifts those restless hours into something softer, something yours. If this sparked a light in your night, hit that like button, share it with a friend who's up when the stars are out, and subscribe. Tap that bell too, so we can keep exploring these hidden corners together. Your support keeps this going, and I'm grateful for every one of you joining me here. But let's pause for a second, because these wake-ups, they're more than just biology or bad luck, aren't they? As older women, we've walked through seasons, raising kids, building careers, weathering storms, and those 4 a.m. stirrings, they're echoes of a life that's deep, rich, and still unfolding. I think of my friend Ellen, 66, who told me last month she'd started waking at 3:30 a.m. after years of solid sleep. I thought I was broken, she laughed, but then I tried your notebook idea. One night she wrote about her late husband, how he'd hum off-key in the kitchen, how she missed his burnt toast. By dawn, she'd cried, smiled, and slept deeper than she had in months. It's like the dark gave me permission to feel, she said. That's the gift here, not just sleep, but a chance to meet ourselves where the daylight doesn't reach. Or take my own story. A year ago, I'd wake at 4:00 a.m., dreading the day ahead. Bills, grandkids, a leaking faucet I couldn't fix. One night I stepped onto my porch, the air sharp and cool, and just stood there. The quiet wrapped around me like a quilt. And for the first time, I didn't feel alone. I felt alive. Those hours taught me I'm stronger than my worries, softer than my fears. They're not interruptions, they're invitations to heal, to dream, to grow. So here's my wish for you. Next time the clock glows 3-something and your eyes flutter open, don't curse it. Lean in. Try one of these steps, or all 6, and see what the dark has to teach you. Maybe it's peace. Maybe it's a poem. Maybe it's the courage you forgot you had. Sweet dreams or sweet dawns. Either way, you've got this, and the night's on your side.